Before starting any eyeshadow look, make sure that it lasts all day. So start off with a primer or a concealer. So either way, your makeup will last. Let's use a primer today. So I'm just using the Perfecting Matte Primer from Artistry Cosmetics, and I'm going to put it on my eyelid all over. And then what you can do is just set it with a powder. So let me grab some of my brushes here. I'll just grab a foundation powder. Now you can add a loose powder, and I usually like to put my loose powder in a cap, or you can use a foundation powder. So today I'm going to use a foundation powder in the color Cream. So just in here and tap a little. See the difference? Okay, now we can do the same thing on the other side. So I still have a little bit left, and just tap, just spread it around, and then add your powder. And this mattifies it, this just sets that primer, and now you're ready to go. You have a blank canvas. Okay. And this is what I'm going to use for all of the shadows in this video. Now I'm going to be, I put a magnet on here so it can stick, but I think this is called the Spiced Bronze. It's a shadow quad from Artistry. Now if we're going to use one color, and you're going to use this one, you can swipe with your finger and just cover the lid area here. And this is just a really nice, simple look. You can do this with all of them. Let's say you don't want to use this one, you want to use the center one, you could use any one shade. Or if you want to use the different shades with multiple different brushes, I'll show you how to do that. So let me, if you want to use the different shades, you can use multiple brushes, either a dense brush, a dense and fluffy brush, or a very fluffy brush. It's going to disperse the color differently, and so it'll look like you have multiple shadows, but you only have one. It's called a monochromatic look, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do that. So I already set my eyelids, I've got my shadow quad, and I'm going to start off with a specific color. I think I want to use a fluffy brush, and let's see here. So this is what they would look like. Now this one here. I don't know if you guys can see the difference. And then the middle color, and it's a gold color. You guys see? And then the chocolate color. Picking it up with your hand, with your finger, it presses up against the skin and you get more color payoff. So using your fingers when you do eyeshadow, super important. And I think I'm going to start off with perhaps this one. Okay, so let's just tap it all over and then blend. I mean, you can go out with just this one color. So blend at the edges just to kind of soften it up, so it doesn't just stop, you know, because it looks weird if it stops. And then what you could do is use a concealer brush. It's a little more compact. Go into the same color, okay? And just start tapping it. Do you see that I have a little bit more control? It's a little darker. And just do it in the outer third, okay? Just out there. You're not adding any other color. So a monochromatic look focuses on just one color. And you can get away with it. Okay. Then I'm going to use the same color and just do the bottom. What you do to the top, you do to the bottom. Go ahead and add some mascara, and that should be it for your look. We could even do some eyeliner, actually. I mean, we're just kind of keeping this really simple. And I like to use my nails to kind of just like pull out on the liner. But yeah, this is a monochromatic look. You can use a couple different brushes, and it disperses the product differently on your skin. I could even do some tight lining, but I may just stick with the bottom here. For the second look, I'm going to use the chocolate color. Let's follow the same steps. So I'm going to use a fluffy brush. This is it's called Real Perfection. So it's just a fluffy brush. I have several of them that are similar from Morphe. So this one doesn't have an actual number or anything. Sorry about that. All right, so let's just tap into this and lightly tap it into the crease. See how I have some color? I'm starting to build a little shade. Okay. So just do windshield wiper motions just to kind of blend it out. We have to be very careful when we do monochromatic look, because it is one color. We have to be careful to not just stick that color everywhere and call it a monochromatic look. You want to make sure that there's an obvious difference in the intensity of this color. So I added a little more. Let's add some to the crease here. My mirror is so strange. Okay, there we go. And keep the darkest part of the color out here and bring it in. All right, so this is what it should look like. Next, I am going to get a more dense brush, but still fluffy. Same chocolate color, okay? And then just to kind of intensify this area out here, all right? And then rub a tissue. Just make sure you kind of dust off the color and transition a little. So make sure that there's an obvious transition from whatever pale, like just your lid color, to the center to the outer part of the eye. So do the same thing here. Tap the color, spread it around. You could either use a clean brush or use the tissue again. Make sure you just dust that off and make sure there's like a transition, okay? Then use a more dense brush. So this is very compact, okay? And tap the color again. And now focus only on that outer V. And I'm tapping, I'm not spreading the color around. If we're going to only use a one, monochromatic look, you want to be very careful to make it look like you're using multiple colors, okay? So just tap that color and just keep adding, you're building. This is kind of in the shape of a V. Make sure it's not entirely in the 1/3 of the eye, it's just on the outer portion of the eye, okay? So I'm using some more, and now I'm gonna create an actual V. And I will leave it right there. I'm gonna create a V and then leave it right there. Check this out so far. What do you think? And then I'm just buffing any edge if I think it looks really weird. Let's use this brush again. Whatever we do to the top, we do to the bottom. So I'm gonna grab my tissue because I don't want any fallout. All right, so I'm just protecting my eye. I'm just gonna do the other half of the eye here and here. Super simple. Now let's use liner. So I'm just using a pencil liner. I'm keeping this soft. You can use a liquid liner. I'm gonna add a little bit of a wing. And this should be the makeup look. Ooh. Add mascara. What do you guys think? So I am still using the Spiced Bronze Shadow Quad from Artistry. In one video, I used one color on my lid, and by doing that, I can just create a very quick look, which gives you 4 different makeup look options. Next, you can use one shadow with different brushes, so it looks like a whole palette that you used, but it's only one color. So those are 2 different options. You can either smear a color on your eyelid or work with different brushes to give you different intensities to create a makeup look. But what if you now can combine 2 colors? So in this tutorial, I'm going to just combine 2 colors to create a makeup look. Let's just prep our eyes real quick. I am going to use a loose powder. You can certainly follow the same procedure that I've been doing this whole time, where I put a primer and what did I do after? And then I set it. So I'm just going to use a white powder. Just using a fluffy brush, something that can make this powder stick to my eyelid. Okay? Creates a nice even canvas to work on. You want to start off with something clean. Now let's dive into this shadow quad. So we're going to use either, we're obviously going to use a medium or dark tone and then a light tone. So let's do, I mean, I can do any typical one. All right. This is just, it's a lot of fun for me. How about we use a concealer brush and go into the chocolate. Just pat the color all the way to the crease area. And create kind of like a C shape or a V shape. All right. So just keep intensifying it. And you can kind of bring the color out a little bit. No big deal. It looks nice and smoky. Then use a fluffier brush and just tap the color and make sure you also add some with the brush, but start buffing it into the crease and drag it in a little. So this kind of creates a little dimension. Okay. I'm just adding a little more. And then you can either use this or this and just put it on the inner part of the lid. So I'm going to use the gold right now. And now look at the look we created. I'm going to do a second look on this eye just to show you another option. So how about we use this color and we use it on the outer part of the eye. Hold on 1 second, let me add a little more. I would say it's like a medium toned color. Okay. And I kind of want to intensify it. So I'm going to add use this compact brush. Just keep adding the color. This is for maybe like work makeup. You want to have something done just to look like you did your makeup, but you don't want it to be too distracting, too smoky, too sultry. Totally fine. Ooh, have a little fallout. Okay, fixed it. So just add a little more. Now you can take a fluffy brush. Actually, I'm going to take a smaller fluffy brush. This is, there's no number. So I bought all these brushes, but they don't have, you know how other brushes have like numbers and it's from a specific company. I usually use Morphe. This one doesn't have one. It's just Real Perfection. So I use the same color, fluffy brush. I'm starting in the outer part here, circular motions, and I'm going to go in, okay? Just like windshield wiper motions. This just creates a little bit of depth. And I kind of like it. I can see, I don't know if you guys can see trying to look into the computer here, but it's over to the side, so it's kind of hard to see with the side of my head. And then, what other color can I use? I am going to use another flat brush, and I'm going to go in with this color. and just press. Okay, then I kind of want to do the same thing to the bottom. So let's go to this color again and just add a little smokiness just so I can kind of define the eye a little bit. Now I know that I have two different eye colors, two different shades, but just so you guys can see, what do you think? Which one would you be interested in? And then here's this one with the chocolate brown and the gold. You can certainly mix and match the different colors. So many options. You can even use this and this, dark and medium, as long as there's contrasting colors. So use the dual tone. So those are a couple options. You can use the chocolate with the cream. That's a beautiful one. If you want, I can actually touch it up. Hold on one second. This one is very light, so I can add the chocolate color right here just for demonstration purposes. So let's say I want to add the chocolate. There's so many combinations, you guys. All right. And just stop at the crease area if you're worried about messing it up, and then blend a little bit at the crease here. Blend just a little fluffy, feathery motion, so you can just blend this area so it's not one choppy color. And then what color did I say we can add? This one. And go in with this and just add a little more. Okay, so now you have that chocolate into cream. Okay, and here I have the gold. Let's say you want to also add gold, like if you're moving on to 3 color combos, you can now add, I have cream, chocolate. Let's say you want to add gold, you can do that. You could just transition. Do you see that? And add a little bit of cream here just so you can transition it nicely. And it just goes from chocolate to gold to cream. It's a really simple process. It doesn't have to be complicated. I just wanted to demystify the many, many options. It could be overwhelming, I get it. Again, what you do to the top, you should do to the bottom. So we can add a little bit of cream here. Okay, and then you can do a little bit of gold right here. You can also just take a flat brush, this is an option, and stamp and kind of use that as a liner. If you don't want to use a black liner, you can do that. You can use this as a liner. Okay. Or you can just add a black liner on afterwards. But I really like, I know it's like really weird now to see my eyes different colors here, but I just wanted to show you how simple it could be. Now, if you want to add all 4 colors, that's great. And I can even out my eyes right now. So let me go back with this flat concealer brush. I'm going to take the cream and I want to make this creamy colored here. It's like a pearly cream. And one more touch here. One more touch here. All right. Then you can use a tissue and just wipe it off. And now let's go into this one. So we're going to use all the colors now. Press and slide. Do you see that I now have some color on there? I'm going to do the same thing on here. And this is the second quadrant, I guess, if you're going to call it that. Ooh, if you have fallout, just get rid of it. All right, so I did that. If you want to use your fingers, here's what it would look like. You press and slide. Okay, I could definitely use my fingers. You like that? Next, I can use the gold on the third part of the quadrant. Everything just overlaps. When you have shadow quads, you can overlap all your colors. And then finally, I'm not going to press and slide, I'm going to tap in just because it might be a little too rich of a color. See how I fixed it? Now my eyes are even. Yay, I look normal. Because I did the chocolate color, I just need to kind of buff the edges to make sure that nothing is really harsh looking. So just fix it up a little bit and then go back in with your palette, the little paddle brush, and choose this cream color again and add it here to the top. It adds a little nice highlight. Okay. And there you go. It's so simple. You can now go in and line your eyes. I myself like a little bit of a wing. Okay, just try to make it even. You can make it even longer if you want. It's easier if you just pinch with your nail and pull out. And you can do the bottom. So the bottoms, you can use any one of the colors. You can use the chocolate color for a more sultry look, or you could use this color for like a softer bottom. You should definitely do something just to kind of define your eyes. If you do have any fallout, I know this is more of an eye tutorial, but still, just to help you out, grab your foundation brush and your foundation powder and just tap underneath and fix it. Okay? And that should be it. Just do some touch up wherever you want it and you are good to go. And hopefully all of that made sense. You can use all 4 colors. You could just use combination of 3, whatever it is. These are very easy to use. I love shadow quads. I love palettes in general because you can mix and match and they're usually the same tone. So you can't mess that up.